Hello, I'm Dr. Stephen Pliska, Chief of the Division of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry here at the University of Texas Health Science Center at San Antonio. This series of interviews is designed to assist the psychiatric interview in assessing mood disorders in adolescence. We're going to tackle a number of important issues. The first is differentiating the normal mood changes of adolescence from pathological ones. The second is to look at how major depressive disorder presents in adolescence and how it can be confused with other diagnoses. Thirdly, we're going to look at the presentation of a manic episode in an adolescent with a history of ADHD, with the focus on those aspects of the symptomatology that differentiate the ADHD from a manic episode. We will then look at 2 interviews of adolescents with mood lability. These individuals do not have any clear-cut evidence of either a major depressive or a bipolar disorder, yet they clearly have a significant disturbance in the mood disorder spectrum. And these final 2 cases will serve as the springboard for discussion about what the appropriate use of psychopharmacologic agents are in these particular situations. Our first case is that of Caitlin. She is an adolescent who is brought for evaluation because she has made a suicidal statement. Caitlin, how old are you?
I'm 15.
And what did your mom tell you about coming to see me today?
Well, we had a big argument last week. Lots of trauma. I think everything's fine now, but my mom wanted me to talk to you about it. She thinks we may need some counseling.
Okay. Can you tell me about the argument?
Well, I had a lot of homework, and I got a late start because I had volleyball practice. I had to do this project about the Gettysburg Address. We had to explain in our own words what each sentence meant. So I finished it and I put it away in my backpack. Then when I was getting ready for bed, my mom walks upstairs and she says she wants to see it. And I said I was really tired and I just wanted to go to sleep. But she grabs my backpack and she pulls it out. Then she tells me it's all wrong because I had just repeated what Lincoln said without explaining it. So it's 11 o'clock and then she tells me I have to redo it.
Was there just a lot of arguing, or was there screaming and yelling?
Yeah, it got really hot. My mom is really big on grades. She says, "You're not going to turn in this C- paper." And I was like, how do you know what a C- paper is? Were you ever in GT classes?
What did your mom do?
She said I couldn't go to my friend's birthday party next weekend. I got really upset and started crying.
And what did you say?
I said it wasn't fair because I do so much better than all the other kids at school.
And your mom mentioned something about you saying you'd be better off dead?
Yeah, I said I'd be better off dead than go through all of this.
And at that moment, what were you feeling?
Just really fed up with all the work, and practice had been really hard that day.
At that moment, did you feel like dying?
No, I was just really mad.
Okay. Have you ever done anything to hurt yourself?
No.
Okay. Do you ever get times when you wish you were dead or you're wanting to die?
Not at all.
Okay. And had you ever said anything like that before? Okay. Well, Caitlin, let me ask you some questions about your feelings. Do you get a lot of times when you feel sad or depressed?
Sometimes, when I miss an easy shot in volleyball or my friends don't talk to me.
And how often do those come up? Is it like once a day or once a week?
Maybe once a month.
Okay. And when those sad feelings come, how long do they usually last?
Half an hour.
Okay. Are most of the time, are you in a pretty good mood?
Definitely. I'm a very upbeat person.
What would you say are the major problems in your life?
Well, me and my mom, we argue a lot. And school is really, really hard because there's lots of work. And I've practiced 3 times a week, tournaments out of town on the weekends. And my mom wants me to keep playing piano, but I hate it.
Any other problems you can think of? Like, how do family members get along?
Well, my mom and dad get along fine. And my brother's a bit of a pain.
Okay. And how often do these arguments with your mom come up?
There can be little ones, at least once a week.
Okay. And really big ones like screaming and yelling, how often do those come up?
Hardly ever. But we did have this big argument about my boyfriend back around Christmas.
Okay.
But everything's all worked out now.
Okay. Well, tell me about your boyfriend. How old is he?
He's in my grade, in my class.
Okay.
We started going out in December. My mom didn't like it at first.
And what was the argument about your boyfriend around?
Well, we wanted to go to the movies, and she said that we couldn't go alone. She either had to go with us, or we could just rent a movie and stay at the house.
Okay. Well, how did the argument end up?
She ended up going with us, but stayed a couple of rows back.
Okay. Okay. And what are your mom's rules about the relationship?
Well, we can only talk on the phone after homework is finished. He can come over only when my parents are there and only on weekends. We can only go on group dates or when our parents are with us.
Okay. And how is the relationship going?
Okay, I guess. He plays a lot of video games, and he rarely ever calls.
Okay. And do you spend a lot of time worrying about the relationship, like whether he likes you or whether he's going to break up with you?
No, but I do get kind of bummed out when he doesn't call.
Okay. If he did break up with you, how would you feel?
I don't know. I'd be pretty mad if he started going out with somebody else, but a lot of boys have been wanting to talk to me lately.
Okay. And if he did break up with you, would you feel bad about yourself or feel like hurting yourself?
Over him? No way.
This last big argument with your mom, how are you feeling about it now?
Well, I told her I was sorry, and I think things are going fine now.
Okay. Did you rewrite the essay?
Yeah, I stayed up till 1 a.m., but I did get an A.
Okay. Well, Caitlin, I'd like to ask you some questions that help me understand your feelings. It's a rating scale. What I'm going to do is read some sentences to you, and I want you to listen to each one and think about whether you feel that way over the last 2 weeks. If you do feel that way, say true. If you've only felt that way once in a while, say sometimes. And if you haven't felt that way at all, then just say not true. Okay? Okay, here we go. I felt miserable or unhappy.
Sometimes.
I didn't enjoy anything at all.
Never.
I was less hungry than usual.
Not true?
I ate more than usual.
No.
I felt too tired and I just sat around and did nothing.
No.
I was moving and walking more slowly than usual.
Nope.
I was very restless.
No.
I felt I was no good anymore. I blamed myself for things that weren't my fault.
No.
It was hard for me to make up my mind.
True.
I felt grumpy and angry with my parents.
True.
I felt like talking less than usual.
No.
I was talking more slowly than usual.
Nope.
I cried a lot.
No.
I thought there was nothing good for me in the future. I thought that life wasn't worth living.
No.
I thought about death or dying.
Nope.
I thought my family would be better off without me.
No.
I thought about killing myself.
No.
I didn't want to see my friends.
Nope.
I found it hard to think properly or concentrate.
Sometimes.
I thought bad things would happen to me.
No.
I hated myself.
Nope.
I felt I was a bad person. I thought I looked ugly.
No.
I worried about aches or pains. I felt lonely.
Nope.
I thought nobody really loved me.
No.
I thought I could never be as good as other kids.
No.
I felt I did everything wrong.
Nope.
I didn't sleep as well as I usually sleep.
Sometimes.
I slept a lot more than usual.
No.
Okay. Well, Caitlin, looking at this, it does not look like you get a lot of depressed feelings. Is that right? Do you get along with people at school?
Pretty much. But I have had some issues with a couple of girls on my volleyball team.
And what are those?
Well, at the end of the season, there were only a few spots left on the team, and the coach picked me and this other girl. So Ashley, one of the other girls on the team, she said that my dad donated uniforms, which is not true. So we had this big argument on the bus.
And who did people believe?
Well, all my friends stayed with me, which is most of the people on the team.
Okay. Is this still an issue at school?
No, it's old news.
Okay. And when things like that happen, do you stay upset or nervous for very long?
No, things just tend to work out.
And how often do problems with friends like this come up for you?
Well, that was the only time this year, and I don't have nearly as much drama as all the other kids do.
What do you think needs to change between you and your mom?
Well, I think she needs to let me quit piano. That way, at least I could have some free time.
Is there anything that you need to do differently?
Well, my room is a mess.
Okay. Well, Caitlin, that's all the questions I have. What I'd like to do now is talk with your mom, and then I'll bring you back in and let you know what I think.
Okay.
From this interview, we see that while Caitlin made a suicidal statement, there does not appear to be any strong evidence of a major depressive disorder. In particular, her responses on the mood and feeling questionnaire were quite normative. Also, her affect throughout the interview was quite relaxed. She related well to the examiner. She showed many aspects of adolescent problems, adolescent mood changes, conflict with parents over issues such as grades and boyfriends. And yet, while she was kind of in that rebellious stage, she nonetheless was accepting of her parents' limits. She was remorseful about the particular behavior. Her self-esteem was good. So in the case of Caitlin, certainly she would be inappropriate to treat with antidepressant medication. It might be that some short-term counseling could help Caitlin and her mother relate better to each other, but generally she showed evidence of normal personality development. Now, our next case shows a slightly different situation. Sophie's mother brings her for an evaluation for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder because of a decline in her daughter's school performance and at least the overt evidence of ADHD. But as the interview progresses, we see a very different picture emerge. Ms. Watson, I'm Dr. Pliska. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Okay, I see from your intake form that your daughter's having school problems. How old is Sophie?
She's 13, going to be 14 in February.
And what grade is she in?
8th grade.
Can you describe her problems for me?
She's always been a good student. But the middle of last year, her grades started to go down. She's not motivated. She's not turning her work in. She's always been a straight A student. But the end of her 7th grade year, her grades started turning into B's, C's, and D's, which is very unusual for her. The teachers have called me that she's not participating in class. She's not bringing her homework home. She talked back to a teacher last week, and she's never done that before. I got on the website to look up ADHD, and I realized that she had some of the symptoms. Do you think that ADHD could start in teenage years?
Well, let's look at some of the ADHD symptoms now. You filled out some forms that we sent you, and I noticed that you rated Sophie high in a number of inattention symptoms, so let's go over those. Does Sophie have trouble paying attention to details?
Yes.
How about trouble not staying on task?
No.
Okay. Not listening when spoken to directly?
No.
Not following through on instructions?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at your form here, you also said difficulty organizing.
Yes.
Disliking activities that require a really sustained mental effort.
Yes.
Losing things.
Yes.
Okay. Getting distracted by things around her.
No.
No. Being forgetful in daily activities.
No.
Okay. Let's also look at some of the symptoms of impulsivity and hyperactivity. Does Sophie have trouble with fidgeting or squirming around?
No.
How about getting out of her seat?
No.
Running about or climbing on things?
No.
Trouble playing or quietly or being quiet when she needs to be?
No.
Just acting like she seems driven like a motor?
No.
Talking excessively?
No.
Right. Blurting out answers before people can complete the question?
No.
Right. Difficulty awaiting turn?
No.
And interrupting others a lot?
No.
Okay. Well, so it's mainly the inattention symptoms, and you mentioned that these things started last year. Did you or Sophie's teachers ever notice inattention problems earlier than that, like in elementary school?
No, her teachers loved her in elementary school. She was on patrols, and she was very particular about her work.
Okay, so no problems with inattention at all in grades 1 through 5?
No, not at all.
Let me change the subject and ask some questions about temper and attitude. Does Sophie lose her temper a lot?
Yes.
Does she argue with you and other adults?
Yes.
Does she deliberately go out of her way to defy your requests or rules?
No.
Okay. Is she doing things deliberately to annoy other people, particularly friends?
No.
Is she blaming others for her mistakes?
No.
Is she really touchy or very easily annoyed by others?
Yes.
And how about staying angry or resentful for long periods of time?
Yes.
Right? Has she done anything really mean or spiteful to others?
No.
Has Sophie hit anyone or been aggressive?
No, although she slammed the door a few times.
Okay. Any other major problems like stealing, running away, or lying?
No, not at all.
How often does Sophie lose her temper?
At least several times a week.
And how long do they last?
The yelling and fussing last about 5 or 10 minutes, and then she goes into a funk. She runs off into her room and won't come out. And when she does come out, she is still mad. And her sister and I have to walk on eggshells for the rest of the day.
So it sounds like she's in a bad mood a lot. What percent of the time would you guess she is grouchy or irritable?
Probably 75% of the time. And it won't be more than a day or two before something upsets her.
Does she look sad or depressed? Does she talk about sad things?
She never said she's depressed. And I can't remember her saying that she is sad.
Does she cry a lot?
Only when she is mad. And come to think about it, she's always mad.
Just so I understand, she's in a bad mood more days than not?
Definitely.
Does Sophie have problems falling asleep?
Yeah, she's in and out of her bedroom. The girl looks exhausted. She's up all night long. I go in there in her room and I catch her watching TV or just sitting in her room.
And how often is she up like that at night?
At least 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay. And what is she like to wake up the next day?
Terrible. She's very grouchy.
And how is her energy level?
That's the thing. She used to be a go-getter. Now her head hurts, her back hurts. We've been to the doctor several times, and he said that her blood work is fine.
I see. How is her self-esteem? Does she call herself names or put herself down?
Yes, and I don't know why. She's such a smart girl. She procrastinates. She puts things off. When you try to help her, she turns on the tears. She calls herself stupid. I try and tell her that she's a good flute player, and she just tells that everybody else is much better than she is.
Has Sophie been thinking about death or talking about death?
No, not really, but she did write a morbid poem about vampires, but aren't the kids all into that right now?
Do you recall what was in the poem?
It was something about death and peaceful. Should I be worried about suicide?
Has Sophie ever threatened suicide or tried to hurt herself?
She has never done anything, but about a month ago, she was mad at me because I made her clean up her room. And she said maybe she ought to just die and you wouldn't have a mess to clean up in the house.
And how did you react?
I told her that I loved her and I would never want anything like that.
And did this calm her down?
For a little while, but then she ran off to her room for about an hour.
Has Sophie done anything to actually hurt herself?
No, but do you think Sophie's depressed?
I will need to talk to her, but there do seem to be signs of it. How long has Sophie been in these moods?
For at least the past year.
Is that the same amount of time she's had trouble in school?
Yes.
Let me ask some other questions. During this time, has Sophie had any periods of intense happiness or being a lot more excited than usual?
No, definitely not. She used to be a very happy child, but I haven't seen that side of her in a while.
Okay. Have she had any periods of excessive energy or hyperactivity?
Definitely not.
Has she gone a whole day without sleep or got by on less sleep than most kids?
Yes, she has. And then when she wakes up the next morning, she's just dragging.
Has she been overconfident, feeling like she could do anything?
No, not at all.
Has Sophie had any traumas in her life? Any really stressful things or being exposed to accidents or violence?
Well, her father and I divorced when she was 8, but she didn't seem to mind because she got to see him every other weekend. Mm-hmm. But he just moved to Chicago and got remarried, and now Sophie only gets to see him in the summers now.
I see.
And his wife has a daughter Sophie's age, and they just had a new baby. And I just think that he just isn't interested in Sophie anymore.
Does Sophie think that?
I think she blames me for the divorce.
How so?
She says I nagged him too much, but in fact, he was unfaithful. Sophie doesn't know, but so I let her blame me. Do you think I should tell her the truth?
Well, that's a very complex question, and I certainly won't bring it up with her today. We'll need to see how it fits into the overall picture, but I do think it's relevant that her problems became worse after her father became less involved with her. Does Sophie ever seem to be hearing voices, talking to her, seeing things?
I've never seen anything like that.
Do you or her father have any problem with depression or any other psychiatric illness?
I have a lot of problems with depression. I took Zoloft when I was in college.
Was that helpful?
Looking back, I would have to say yes.
Are you depressed currently?
Yes. I keep it inside, but I definitely am.
Well, I don't think we're dealing with ADHD because these symptoms started so recently. I do think Sophie shows a lot of signs of depression. So after I speak to her, I'll get back with you and let you know what I think.
Okay.
Sophie, I'm Dr. Pliska, and I'd like to talk to you for about half an hour. What did your mom tell you about coming in today?
She thinks I have ADHD.
And what do you think?
No, but I'm behind in class, but that's no big deal.
Well, your mom tells me you made very good grades until last year. What's different about this year?
I don't know. Everything is stupid. The teachers don't explain anything. You know, I'm tired of talking about school. I can take care of it. People just need to leave me alone.
I see. I understand that talking to doctors about these things can be really annoying, especially answering a lot of boring questions. But it does seem you've been in a really bad mood a lot lately. Would you agree?
Yeah, who wouldn't? I have all these stupid classes, and I told my mom I didn't want to be in AP this year. I have orchestra practice, flute lessons, and when I get home, I have 8 hours of homework. And my mom is always on me about my room being spotless.
No. It does sound like you're under a lot of pressure. Are you often in a stressed out mood?
All the time.
It must be difficult. Have you felt happy or enthusiastic about anything lately?
No, not really. What's to be happy about?
I want to do a rating scale that helps me understand your feelings. I'm going to read some sentences to you, and I want you to think about how you felt over the last 2 weeks. If the sentence is not true for you, if you haven't felt that way at all, just say no. If you felt that way once in a while, then say sometimes. And if you felt that way a lot, just say true. Okay? Okay, here we go. I felt miserable or unhappy.
True.
I didn't enjoy anything at all.
True.
I was less hungry than usual.
Sometimes.
I ate more than usual.
Not true.
I felt too tired and I just sat around and did nothing.
Sometimes.
I was moving or walking more slowly than usual.
Not true.
I was very restless.
Not true.
I felt I was no good anymore.
True.
I blamed myself for things that weren't my fault.
Sometimes.
It was hard for me to make up my mind.
Sometimes.
I felt grumpy and cross with my parents.
True.
I felt like talking less than usual.
Sometimes.
I was talking more slowly than usual.
Not true.
I cried a lot.
Sometimes.
I thought there was nothing good for me in the future.
True.
I thought that life wasn't worth living.
Not true.
I thought about death or dying.
Sometimes.
I thought my family would be better off without me.
True.
I thought about killing myself.
Sometimes.
I found it hard to think properly or concentrate.
Sometimes.
I thought bad things would happen to me.
True.
I hated myself.
True.
I felt I was a bad person.
True.
I thought I looked ugly.
Sometimes.
I worried about aches and pains.
True.
I felt lonely.
True.
I thought nobody really loved me.
Not true.
I didn't have any fun at school.
True.
I thought I never could be as good as other kids.
True.
I felt I did everything wrong.
True.
I didn't sleep as well as I usually sleep.
True.
I slept a lot more than usual.
Sometimes.
This sounds like you feel bad a lot of the time, am I right?
I guess so.
Now, you said you had thoughts of hurting yourself. Can you tell me about that?
Will you tell my mom?
Well, I find the best way to help people is to try to get them talking to each other. So if you're feeling that bad, I think your mom should know. I think she wants to help you.
Sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I thought about going to sleep and not waking up.
Do you have a plan, like taking pills or cutting yourself?
No, I hate the sight of blood.
Have you ever tried to hurt or kill yourself?
No.
Now, your mom said you wrote a poem about death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me some lines from it?
The good things are always out of reach, but death can always bring peace.
Sounds like you were feeling pretty hopeless. Did you want to die when you wrote that?
I didn't want to do anything. I just thought it might be nice not to have all this stress.
And how often do you think about death or suicide? Is it every day?
No, just like every once in a while when I'm really freaked out about school or I'm fighting with my mom.
Are you feeling like hurting yourself now at all?
No way.
When was the last time you thought about hurting yourself or killing yourself?
About 2 weeks ago when my mom threw out this sweater that I really liked. I mean, it didn't fit, but
Was it important to you?
my dad bought it for me when I was 8.
I can see why. It also seems to me there's a lot of good things about you, but you really seem to be down on yourself. Where does that come from?
I don't know.
Okay. Has anyone been hurting you? Do you get hit by adults at all?
No.
Has anyone been touching you in ways you don't like or sexually abusing you?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Has anything like that ever happened in the past?
No.
I know your parents are divorced. How does that affect you?
My dad remarried. He's in Chicago now.
And how has that changed your life?
Well, I don't think his new wife wants me around.
And how does that make you feel?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, we don't need to discuss that today. And Sophie, I just have a few more questions that we ask everyone. Have you been drinking any alcohol at all?
No.
How about any marijuana or any other drugs?
Mm-mm.
When people are in real bad moods, they often see things or hear things kind of like nightmares, but in the day. Has anything like that happened to you?
I have nightmares, but never in the day.
And what are your nightmares about?
Either I mess up an orchestra or I'm lost somewhere.
Okay. And do you have any voices or visions during the day?
No.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have. I want to thank you for being so patient. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you think I have ADHD?
Actually, I don't, but I do think you're under a lot of stress, and it's kind of really making you feel depressed. And after I talk to your mom, we can talk about some ways to get you some help. How do you feel after talking about all this?
It wasn't so bad.
Okay, very good. Well, if you'll take a seat in the waiting room, I'll call you back in about 15 minutes. Now, in Sophie's interview, you see strong evidence of major depressive disorder. Her responses on the mood and feeling questionnaire are quite pronounced. The score is well within the clinical range, that is over 20. But more importantly, her affect throughout the interview is strongly suggestive of major depressive disorder. She has a high degree of irritability, tearfulness, and more importantly, there has been a recent change in the symptoms over the last few years. One of the key aspects of this interview is that the child has no early history of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. The problems with concentration only emerged within the last year as the depressive symptoms emerged as well. During this interview, we identified both neurovegetative signs, such as poor sleep, low energy, pervasively irritable and depressed mood, and of course we also identified prominent psychosocial stressors. In the treatment plan, really we could treat either with antidepressant medication or with psychotherapy. There also would be a strong argument to be made for doing combined therapy with both of these modalities. We do not see any evidence of bipolar disorder in Sophia's presentation, and certainly her late age of onset of her inattention symptoms makes a diagnosis of ADHD quite unlikely. Now we'll proceed to look at a more complex case. Ms. Mason, I'm Dr. Pliska. I'm going to ask you some questions about Jenna's behavior, but first, how old is Jenna?
She's 15 years old.
And what grade is she in?
She's in the 8th grade.
And could you describe for me the kind of problem she's having?
Well, she was diagnosed with ADHD in the 2nd grade. She was one of the most hyperactive girls the teachers had ever seen. Her pediatrician treated her with Adderall, and she's done really well on it. It doesn't take away all of her symptoms, but at least she can focus in class and stay in her seat. She also gets some special education support. She's not learning disabled, but they can pull her out of class for a break if she gets really rambunctious. The last 2 years have been really hard. It just doesn't seem like the medication is working anymore. Pediatrician increased the dose, but it didn't help. She doesn't want to increase it anymore until we see you.
I'm reviewing the ADHD forms that you filled out before you came in. I noticed on the inattention and hyperactivity items, you've rated Jenna as pretty much or very much on nearly all the items. Is that right?
That's right.
Is that even when she's on the medication?
She's definitely better on the medication. I can't imagine her going without it. But it just doesn't seem as effective as it used to seem.
About what % improvement do you think it's bringing about right now?
Maybe a 20% improvement.
Yeah. Does it seem at all that the medication is making her worse at all?
Well, she does seem a little bit more moody now when it wears off.
How would you describe Jenna's mood on a day-to-day basis?
It's a real roller coaster. She wakes up either all giddy or in a bad mood. Every little thing I ask her to do results in arguing and yelling. She's had some real blow-ups, you know, slamming her doors, throwing things in her room. 3 nights ago, I asked her to get back to her homework, and she kicked the wall, left a dent in it.
And how long did that tantrum go on?
It was probably 2 hours before she calmed down.
Oh, and how often, how many times a week do things like this happen?
Well, she has a tantrum at least once a day. The big ones are probably 2 or 3 times a week. It seems like it's getting worse.
Has she been aggressive, physically hitting others?
Well, her and her sister have never gotten along. Robin's 2 years older, and they're very different. They've always pushed and shoved each other, but lately she's just really been going at her, you know, going into a rage and slapping her really hard, or, you know, pulling her hair.
And how often is that happening, where she's actually getting physical with her sister?
Probably 2 or 3 times a month.
Has she hit anyone else?
Last month, she threw a pillow at me. I had to really come down on her. She was really hateful.
In what way?
She said she really wanted to kill me for asking her to pick up her clothes.
Well, that must have been very difficult for you. Do you think she meant it?
It was so intense when she said it, I was really scared. Maybe an hour later, she calmed down. Then she laughed about it.
You mentioned her being silly or giddy. Could you describe those more?
Well, Jenna's always been a very giggly girl, but lately she just gets so silly that I think people are noticing. We went to visit my sister, and she asked me what Jenna was on. We watched a comedy. You know, it was good, but it wasn't that great. And Jenna started laughing hysterically for like 5 minutes. She couldn't stop. She's also been in trouble in class for laughing as well.
These giddy or happy periods, do they seem a bit odd, like something's not right?
Definitely.
And how about depressed periods? Is Jenna having anything like those?
No, I don't think so. When she's mad, she just says she hates me or she hates her sister.
Has she talked about suicide or hurting herself?
No.
Any cutting on herself when she's upset or mad, or has she done anything to actually hurt herself?
No.
Now, you said the last 2 years you've noticed that Jenna's mood has changed. During that time, has she ever been back to her normal self, like she's had a more regular mood?
Maybe for a few days she's okay, but after that she's either mad or happy all the time.
What's Jenna's sleep like?
The girl will not go to bed. I have to unplug her computer at night. She's doing 1,000 things. I know she gets up at night and tries to hook it up again.
And how is she to get up the next day?
She's fine. I don't know where she gets the energy.
What is her energy level like during the day?
I wish I had that energy, but she doesn't use it for anything worthwhile.
How so?
Her father and I are really worried about this. She has a science project, and she wants to build a perpetual motion machine. She's always had a wonderful imagination, but this project needs to be realistic. She's got all these diagrams, and she wants to make a boat that will never run out of fuel. She wants to make a model of it. Her father keeps telling her it's impossible, but she's very stubborn about it. If she put all of this energy into a realistic project, she'd get an A guaranteed.
Has she seemed overconfident?
Yes, she's failing 3 subjects, but she keeps telling me not to worry about it. She keeps losing her papers and not turning them in. Then she argues with the teachers, tells them that it's their fault they lost it.
Does she have any other odd beliefs or ideas that have come up lately?
No, I don't think so. Sometimes I hear her singing in her room. Sometimes I just don't know what's going through her head.
Does she ever appear to have voices talking to her or talking to people that aren't there?
No, I haven't seen that.
How about having visions or saying she's seeing things?
No.
Has Jenna had any increase in her interest in sex or dating?
Well, she has gotten boy crazy, and I thought it was just her age. She was really insistent that we rent these R-rated movies. You know, it wasn't too bad, but it was clearly intended for adults. Oh, she also had a crush on the star football player. She passed him a love note. She doesn't even know him. Fortunately, the teacher, he gave the note to the teacher, and she talked to Jenna privately about it. Could have been a real embarrassment for her. She just doesn't even get it.
Is Jenna drinking alcohol at all?
No, we keep very close tabs on her.
And how about her Adderall? Any chance that she might be taking extra, or are there any other drugs in the medicine cabinet?
No, I give her the Adderall myself, and I keep track of it.
How about marijuana or any other illegal drugs at all?
I don't think so. You know, she's so suggestible right now, I do worry a little bit about it.
Does anyone in the family take medication for a psychiatric disorder like bipolar disorder or depression?
My brother has bipolar disorder. He's supposed to take medication, but he won't take it. He took off to Alaska, and I haven't heard from him. I'd hate to think of Jenna ending up like that. Do you think she has bipolar disorder?
Well, I do see some signs of it, but I'll need to talk with Jenna before we make any firm diagnosis. But if that is the case, we do have a lot of treatment options. Let me ask you some questions about Jenna's health. Any current medical problems?
No, she's always been pretty healthy. No, her annual checkups have always been fine. She did see an occupational therapist at school for sensory integration disorder. She's very sensitive to the environment, you know, tags on clothes, the feel of paper. There are some clothes she just won't wear. That seems to be getting worse too. Her aunt gave her this sweatshirt, this really nice sweatshirt, but she won't wear it. She says it's too itchy.
Okay. Any other illnesses? Any issues with her thyroid?
No,
And has anyone ever thought she's been having any kind of seizures?
no.
Is she taking any other medications besides the Adderall?
No, just the usual stuff, you know, over-the-counter stuff for allergies and colds and things.
Okay. Well, I would like to speak with Jenna now, and after I'm done speaking with her, I'll get back together with you and let you know what I think.
Okay.
Jenna, hi, I'm Dr. Pliska.
Hi, good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Whoa, this is so cool. It's not real, is it?
Oh, no, but it is a pretty good model. I'll show it to you when we're done talking.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You can go ahead and put that back on there, and please have a seat. Jenna, what did your mom tell you about the appointment today?
She said it was something about my ADHD medication. She thinks it's not working, but I don't think I need it at all. In fact, I get a lot more done when I'm not on it, and my friends think I'm a lot funnier because I talk a lot more. You know, a lot of geniuses have ADHD.
Well, a lot of accomplished people do have ADHD. How have your grades been lately?
Everything's fine.
Now, your mom said you were failing like 3 classes.
No way. My mom doesn't know what's going on in class.
She said also that there were a lot of missing assignments.
2 of my teachers said I didn't turn in my assignments, but I know I did. And I told them they're just going to have to find it because I'm not doing it over.
And how did they react?
Jenna, don't talk to me in that tone of voice.
And did you get in any trouble?
Yeah, detention for 3 days. Whatever.
Well, Jenna, your mom mentioned a science project that you're doing. Can you tell me about that?
It's a perpetual motion machine. Scientists think they're impossible, but they're wrong. I'm going to design a ship that can go on forever without refueling. The secret is to combine the power of the water going into the front grill of the ship to turn a turbine. And then that will cause enough electricity to heat the heater, which will make the water turn the water into steam. The steam will then power the ship, and the ship can go on forever without refueling. In fact, you can store all the extra electricity and put them into batteries and sell them.
It sounds interesting. Do you think your teachers will like it?
Yeah, it's way more interesting than what the other kids are doing. I plan on even selling the idea as well. You know, companies nowadays can move freight all over the world with a lot less money.
I see. Jenna, how has your mood been lately?
It's been fine.
Have you been feeling unusually happy, more happier than usual?
Happy and mad.
And what sort of things make you mad?
When people get on me about stupid stuff. My mom's always like, clean your room, do your homework, do your chores. How am I supposed to do my chores and do my homework at the same time? And my teachers are always like, blah, 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 about their stupid assignments. But if you're a cheerleader, they don't bother you about it. There's no blah, blah, blah for the rah, rah, rah. That rhymed.
It does. Do you make a lot of jokes like that?
Yeah, I'd love to be a comedian. Okay, what is the difference between our school and the Titanic?
What?
The Titanic had a better orchestra.
I see. Do people sometimes not get your jokes?
Yeah, but they're idiots. No offense.
That's no problem. Coming back to feeling angry, how often do you get mad at your mom or your teachers? Is it like once a week or once a day?
I blow up every day at home.
And once you get angry, how long does that mad feeling usually last?
About 2 hours.
Do you ever get so mad that you feel like hitting people?
Only if they deserve it.
Can you give me an example of that?
My sister will not stay out of my room. And she's always getting into my stuff. So finally one day I had to swat her upside her big head with a poster.
Now, your mom mentioned you threatened to kill her over an argument about picking up your clothes. Can you tell me about that?
I don't remember that.
Not at all? Okay. Do you have any feelings of wanting to hurt people or kill them?
No, I have a temper, but people do get me mad.
Okay. Let me ask you about some other feelings. Have you been feeling sad or depressed at all?
No, everything's fine.
And have you had any feelings of wanting to hurt yourself or kill yourself?
No way, that'd be stupid.
And how are you sleeping, Jenna?
Fine.
Your mom says you don't like to go to bed at night.
My mom made my bedtime 10:30, and I'm 15. All the kids I know get to stay up later than that.
Okay. Is it hard to turn off the computer or the TV to go to bed?
My mom took away my computer at night, but I know where she keeps her laptop.
So do you get up a lot during the night? Yeah. Is it hard to get up the next day?
No, I get bored sleeping.
Jenna, I'd like to ask you some questions that we ask all the kids. Have you been drinking any alcohol?
No, my parents don't drink.
Have you been taking any drugs, including stuff from the medicine cabinet?
No, I'm not taking extra Adderall.
Has anyone said that you have?
My friends at school ask if I took an extra one.
Have they noticed changes in you?
Yeah, they say I'm louder. So what if I like people to know I'm there?
Okay. But you're not taking any drugs?
I said no.
Okay. All right. Jen, I have some more questions that we ask all the kids. Do you ever feel like you can hear a voice talking to you, like a voice nobody else can hear?
No, I can hear. I sometimes think my mom's calling me though, and I can hear everything, like the clock ticking, or my sister snoring in the other room. She kind of snores like this.
Okay. Do you ever actually hear a voice conversing with you?
No.
And how about seeing things, like having dreams during the daytime?
No. Do you think I'm crazy?
No, I definitely don't. But I do notice that your moods seem to be out of control. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, maybe. I lose it at my mom a lot.
Yeah. And do you think your mom is really unfair?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, what I'd like to do now is talk with your mom, and then I'll get back with you and let you know what we can do to help, okay? Would you like to take a look at the model of the brain now?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, this is the cortex, frontal cortex, and where you do all your thinking. And then you've got this is called the orbitofrontal cortex, kind of controls emotion, and actually the most interesting part. In this case, you can see how bipolar disorder can emerge somewhat gradually against a background of ADHD. So Jenna presented with symptoms very early in life. She has a history of stimulant responsiveness, but the stimulant has gradually lost its effectiveness, although, as the mother points out, when it stopped, the ADHD behaviors clearly returned. The mother's interview really gives us many clues that we're dealing with much more than ADHD. The mother has picked up on the change in mood, the silliness, the giddiness, the high energy. Also, the assignment for a perpetual motion machine clearly shows that there is now a disturbance in logical thinking. And in Jenna's interview, we see a very high level of energy, distractibility, a degree of physical activity that would be unusual in an adolescent with ADHD. So in this situation, we would probably quite seriously consider the addition of mood-stabilizing medication, and of course discussing in detail with the parents what the implications of a bipolar diagnosis might mean. While Jenna's case really shows us many of the first-rank symptoms of mania, many presentations of mood disorders in adolescents are much more subtle. We're going to look at two cases sequentially. One is an adolescent girl dealing with a lot of anger issues with her mother, and the other is an adolescent boy who's in foster care. And this individual not only has aggressive behavior, but has a history of past abuse. So let's take a look at these two cases. Megan, I'm Dr. Pliska, and I'd like to talk to you for about half an hour. What did your mom tell you about the appointment today?
I can't remember.
Oh, well, I just finished talking to her, and she was most concerned about this incident where you took some pills from the medicine cabinet.
That was no big deal. I swear, my mother freaks out about everything. I was not trying to kill myself.
Can you tell me what was going on when that happened?
I told her I wasn't going to talk about that with anybody. It's over.
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about that right now. Now, you said your mom freaks out about everything. Can you give me some other examples of that?
She butts into everything.
our school has this stupid dress code where you can't wear jeans like these and you can't wear earrings if they're just way too big. I'm hardly out of my room in the morning before she's on me. You're not going to school dressed like that. She tells me to stop texting on my phone and to get off the computer.
I see. How often do you get into an argument with your mom?
Every day. She won't leave me alone.
And once you get into one of these arguments with your mom, how long do they go on?
Until she walks away.
Mm-hmm. And after it's over, how long do you feel in a bad mood?
I can't remember.
Okay. Well, do you feel okay as soon as the argument's over, or are you angry for a while, like an hour or more?
She doesn't stop, then I get really mad. I have to go to my room or like take a walk or something.
So at least an hour or so?
Yeah, I guess.
Are you in a bad mood when you're with your mom most of the time?
Who wouldn't be, the way she acts?
And how about at school? Are you in a bad mood at school?
Teachers can be a pain too.
Have you had some recent problems with them?
I got ISS last month.
And what for?
My cell phone went off during Ms. Warren's class, and she said that she had to confiscate it. That's not the rule. You're supposed to get like one warning. And so I wouldn't give it to her, and she threatened to send me to the principal's office. So I said, oh, look, you'll have to take it out of my goddamn hands.
No. Why did you feel so strongly about giving up the cell phone?
Because it's mine, and teachers don't need to make such a big deal out of it.
So it seems like whenever you're around adults, things put you in a bad mood.
Yeah, when I'm with my friends, I'm fine.
Well, tell me how you feel when you're with your friends.
Then I feel great. I can talk, I can laugh about stuff, I can talk about my feelings with them.
If you had to stay at home the whole weekend with your mom, just you and your mom, how would you feel?
Like I would kill myself. I mean, not literally kill myself, but you know what I mean. I'm not suicidal.
I understand. I'm just trying to understand what makes you feel so bad at home. Is it being with your mom, or is it being away from your friends? For instance, could you stay at home by yourself for the whole weekend?
That would drive me crazy too. I'd have to have somebody come over.
Okay. Do you get lonely a lot?
Just bored.
On the topic of friends, your mom mentioned that the two of you had a big argument about a boy you know.
Yeah?
Can you tell me about that?
My mother freaked out about everything as usual. She probably told you that he's my boyfriend, but he's not. We just like to talk.
Does he go to your school?
No, he's in high school.
In what grade?
11th?
Is that part of what your mom was concerned about?
She thinks he's too old for me.
And weren't his parents concerned as well?
His mother is such a well, you know what I mean. She said that I can't see him or talk to him anymore.
Yeah. And I know you didn't want to talk about the pill-taking thing, but didn't that happen right about the time she said he couldn't see you anymore?
I told her I wasn't going to talk about that. It's over.
That's fine. Megan, I'd like to do a rating scale that helps me understand how you feel. I'm going to read some sentences to you, and I want you to think about how you felt in the last 2 weeks. If the sentence is true for you most of the time, say true. If you just felt that way once in a while, then say sometimes. And if you didn't feel that way at all, just say not true, okay? Here we go. I felt miserable or unhappy.
True.
I didn't enjoy anything at all.
Sometimes.
I was less hungry than usual.
Not true.
I ate more than usual.
Not true.
I felt too tired and I just sat around and did nothing.
Not true.
I was very restless.
Not true.
I felt I was no good anymore.
Not true.
I blamed myself for things that weren't my fault.
Sometimes.
It's hard for me to make up my mind.
True.
I felt irritable or angry with my parents.
True.
I felt like talking less than usual.
Not true.
I was talking more slowly than usual.
Not true.
I cried a lot.
Sometimes.
I thought there was nothing good for me in the future.
True.
I thought that life wasn't worth living.
Not true.
I thought about death or dying.
Not true.
I thought my family would be better off without me.
Sometimes.
I thought about killing myself.
Not true.
I didn't want to see my friends.
Not true.
I found it hard to think properly or concentrate.
Sometimes.
I thought bad things would happen to me.
Not true.
I hated myself.
Sometimes.
I felt I was a bad person.
Not true.
I thought I looked ugly.
Sometimes.
I worried about aches and pains.
True.
I felt lonely.
True.
I thought that nobody really loved me.
Not true.
I didn't have any fun at school.
True.
I thought I could never be as good as other kids.
Not true.
I felt I did everything wrong.
Sometimes.
I didn't sleep as well as I usually sleep.
True.
I slept a lot more than usual.
Not true.
Okay, thank you. Megan, are you feeling like hurting yourself at all?
No way.
Okay. Well, let me ask you some questions about feeling good. Do you ever have times where you feel really happy or excited, like more than usual?
Yeah, when I'm with my friends, I'm always happy.
Well, I mean like so happy that you felt silly or giddy, like extra confident.
Well, my friends think I'm bipolar. Like, I did karaoke at this one party. It was so much fun.
Okay. And how often, when you feel good like that, how often does that go on?
Maybe for a couple of days or so.
Does this cause you problems? Like, do your friends think it's too much, like you're over the top?
My friends love it, but my mom thinks I'm high all the time, and she wants to drug test me.
Have you used any drugs?
No, I mean, I've tried marijuana, but I've only tried it once. I mean, I don't use it.
Okay. When was the last time you used it?
I tried it about 3 months ago.
Okay. And how about drinking?
Yeah, I've had a few beers every once in a while, like at parties.
Okay. Have you ever gotten drunk or been arrested for possession?
No way.
Coming back to these times where you feel really happy, do you sleep less or skip nights of sleep?
Yeah, I've done that. I mean, skip nights of sleep, but 2 days later, I really crash.
Mhm. And how often do you have these times where you'll skip nights of sleep?
About twice a month.
We ask everyone this. Do you ever have times when you're hearing voices or seeing things, especially during these times when you're feeling really good?
No.
When you have these times, is it just when you're with your friends, or can you feel good for no reason?
Sometimes I just feel good for no reason,
Okay. And for several days in a row?
I guess.
Okay. We've talked a lot about your mom. Who else lives at home with you?
My brother, he's 17, but he has his own friends. I don't really see him that much. My mom doesn't care what he does.
And where does your father live?
Haven't seen him since I was 5.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't know, I can't really remember him. I mean, I have a picture.
How much do you know about him?
Well, he's like a mechanic or something in an oil field. Like, he used to drink too much and beat my mom up, so she kicked him out, and we've been trying to find him to pay child support, and we can't find him.
And your dad not being around, how does that affect you today?
I don't really think about it.
Okay. Well, Megan, I want to thank you for being so patient and asking all these questions. I'll talk to your mom in a moment. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you think I'm bipolar?
Well, I think your moods are pretty intense, and I think we can do some things to help that out. But I'd like to talk to your mom first, and then I'll bring you back in and let you know what I think.
All right.
Thank you. Hello, Josh. I'm Dr. Pliska. I'm the psychiatrist here at the facility, and I'd kind of like to understand your situation. How are you feeling today?
Fine.
How long have you been here now?
A week, I guess. Don't you know?
Well, not exactly, but where were you before you came here?
At juvie.
And how did you end up in juvenile detention?
Got in a fight with Dave, my foster parent.
Can you tell me about the fight?
I wanted to go out. Said I was just going over to the woods. Dave expected me to stay at the house all the time. I said I was just going over and headed to the door. He stepped in my way and pushed him out of the way. He grabbed me, so I reacted.
And did you hit him?
Yeah. And then he tripped and hit his head on the wall. He started bleeding. So I just walked on out.
And where did you go?
To the woods to meet up with my friends. Then the cops showed up and I was sent to detention.
How are you feeling about all that now?
Not too smart, I guess.
How often do you lose your temper? Is it like once a day, once a week, once a month?
It depends if people mess with me.
Well, if you think back to the foster home and think of all the times that adults or kids made you mad, particularly like when there's yelling or pushing, how often would that be?
A lot. Probably every day.
Would you break things, like throwing things or kicking walls?
Yeah, I did break a window once, and I did kick a few holes in the wall.
besides the fight with Dave, did you hit anyone else while you were at the foster home?
I got in 3 fights at school.
And what were those about?
I can't remember. I remember this one kid cutting in front of me in line. I got ISS for that one.
Okay. Now, the staff told me that you've had an incident of physical aggression since you've been here. Can you tell me about that?
Well, staff here is just making up stupid rules. I mean, Gabe wanted me to completely scrape the dishes, and I told him it would come off in the wash. So I got red pen for that, and I couldn't play video games. So I went over and started playing the video game, and he and another staff member turned off the power to the video game. And so I started kicking the TV.
Yeah. Now, the staff told me they had to restrain you just to keep you from trashing the living room.
Well, that's another thing. You get restrained here for anything.
And how long did that go on that you got restrained?
I don't know, 5 minutes?
Yeah. Well, the report the staff showed me said 20 minutes.
No way.
What were you feeling during the restraint? Were you like all red-faced and excited?
Yeah, and yelling for them to get off me.
Yeah. Were you trying to calm yourself down or control yourself?
Well, sort of, but I just can't.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is, like, did you feel like you had a right to be mad and the staff did you wrong, or were you really trying to control yourself and you just couldn't?
I could have controlled it.
And what do you think kept you from controlling it?
I don't know, it just made me mad.
Okay. When you're not mad, how do you generally feel?
Fine.
Right? Have you been sad or depressed?
No.
No. Have you been down on yourself or calling yourself names?
No, I mean, I kind of screwed up and landed here. But if I straighten out, I can leave in 6 months.
Okay. Have you had any times where you thought about suicide or thinking about wanting to die?
I did take an overdose once and end up in the state hospital. But, I mean, I wasn't really trying to kill myself. I was just mad because I was at this group home and they said I didn't earn going to the Christmas party. And I was sick of that place anyway. And the caseworker said if no one else would take me unless I didn't go to the hospital first.
And when you took the overdose, did you want to die at that moment, or were you mostly mad?
Mad.
Do you have times when you're really happy, like having fun or being excited for days at a time?
Well, yeah, when I'm having a good time or I'm high.
Okay. What kind of things do you use to get high?
I smoke marijuana mostly. I did try some cocaine at a party once.
Okay. And when you use the drugs, is it just to feel happy, or are you trying to get rid of some bad feelings like nervousness or sadness?
I just like to feel good. Keeps me from getting bored.
Now that you're here, do you miss doing the drugs? Do you feel like you're craving them or anything?
No, I'm not addicted or anything.
Okay. And when you're not on drugs, do you ever feel high for no reason?
No.
And how is your sleep?
We have to go to bed at 9:30 here. That sucks. I'll need you to give me my sleep meds.
Well, right now, what time do you fall asleep?
Well, midnight. And then we have to get up at 7 a.m.
Yeah. And how do you feel when you have to get up that early?
Like crap. I like to sleep till noon, but you get red pen here if you do that.
Okay. Well, I'd like to understand your moods. It sounds like you get mad or have one of these major blow-ups at least once a week.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. And when you're not mad, how do you generally feel? Irritable, grouchy, happy?
Here, mostly bored. But if I could be with friends, I feel pretty good.
Okay. Did you have friends at your last placement?
Yeah, that caused another problem with Dave. He didn't like the people I hung out at school with, but he sent me to that school anyway.
When you're bored, what do you do to make yourself feel better?
Play video games, play sports, listen to music, talk to friends. But here, all the staff does is tell us to stop.
Okay. When you're feeling bored, can you relax? Can you sit by yourself or read a book?
No way.
Okay. Josh, I'd like to ask you some questions about your past. How old were you when you went into custody?
About 8, I think.
And where are your mother and father now?
I don't know who my dad is, but my mom's in Dallas or something.
Okay. Do you have any contact with her?
No, state terminated her rights.
And how do you feel about talking about her?
No, I'm fine.
Right. Do you think about her much now? Does it bother you not having contact with her?
No, what is done is done.
Okay. Well, I haven't had a chance to look at your records in detail, but what I did look at, I saw that when the state took custody is because she was hitting you a lot, pretty bad, I think. Do you have memories of that?
Well, some, but she used to lose her temper. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. Do bad memories of it bother you today, her hitting you?
No.
No? Do you have any nightmares about what used to happen? Or do you ever feel like it's happening all over again, kind of like flashbacks?
No, I don't let it get me down.
Okay. Nowadays, who do you feel closest to?
My sister. She's in a foster home in Houston. She might age out of care and she might get her own place. If so, I'm going to ask my caseworker if I can live with her.
Okay. How many placements have you been since you've been in custody?
I've lost count.
Would you guess 5, 10, 20?
Probably around 20.
Well, that's a lot. Do you miss any of the people at the old placements?
I miss the kids, especially this one girl at my last school.
Yeah. Did you guys date?
No, she was kind of stuck up, and Dave wouldn't let me.
Okay. Do you feel close to any of the foster parents or the staff you've been with over the years, like they're a real mother or father, or close the way you feel to your sister?
No, I mean, some of them are really cool, but sooner or later they're just making up stupid rules.
Yeah. So if adults tell you what to do, that's really frustrating for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people have to be such tight asses around here. I mean, you have to put your toothbrush in its own container.
Let's turn that question around. Why is it a big deal to not put the toothbrush in the container? Why just put it in there and not make a big deal about it?
It's their stupid rule.
Well, I'm looking at your records here and I see you're on some medications, Concerta and Risperdal. What did the doctor prescribe those for?
I think one's for my ADHD and one's for my anger.
Okay, and how do you feel they're working?
I don't need them. In fact, can you take me off them? Except sleep. I need something to knock me out.
Okay. Well, let's take that big restraint you had the other night. If you can control yourself, why not just do it? Why not just listen when the staff say it's time to turn the TV off?
It's a stupid rule. Look, I'm gonna get mad whether I'm on meds or not.
I hear what you're saying. You're saying people are making you mad and you want them to stop making you mad or then you won't blow up. But the problem is there's always going to be something that's going to make you mad. And the key question is, can you control yourself even when you're feeling angry?
Are you going to take me off the meds or not?
Well, when people arrive, I like to see how they're doing for a few weeks, and if you can go, say, a month with no major blow-ups or restraints, and your school performance is good, then I think I can look at lowering the Risperdal. But if the restraints keep happening, then the meds are going to have to stay, and we might even have to increase them.
Look, I'm not taking them anymore.
Well, I'm not going to discontinue them right now, but as I say, if your behavior improves and your therapist can help with this, then I can look at lowering the meds in the future.
Screw this.
Now that those interviews are complete, I would like you to discuss among yourselves and also with your supervisors what you think the most likely diagnoses are. What treatment modalities would you suggest? I think if we showed these videos to a large group of child psychiatrists, we would get a wide range of opinion about the appropriate diagnoses. For instance, does Megan have a major depressive disorder? Would she be appropriate for treatment with an antidepressant medication? I think most people would agree she has some kind of depressive symptoms. Perhaps she meets criteria for depression not otherwise specified or for mood disorder not otherwise specified. Would it be more appropriate to address the complex problems with her mother before proceeding to pharmacologic intervention? What role does her absent father play in her symptomatology? I don't think there's any one right answer to these questions, but I think they bear careful thought. In the case of Josh, we have an even more thorny situation. Here we have a young man who is already taking not only medication for ADHD, but Risperdal, a mood-stabilizing medication. Yet we do not see any clear-cut symptoms of mania. There is no pressured speech. His thinking certainly cannot be regarded as exhibiting flight of ideas, although there is certainly a good deal of illogic. Josh has this view that he can just act out when he wants to. He can control himself when he wants to, yet he, quote, chooses not to control himself. But he can provide us with no clear reason for why he does not control himself. He has had a history of abuse, a significant history, and yet does not appear to have any symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. One question about that, many clinicians would say, well, perhaps the PTSD symptoms are repressed and a process of therapy will bring them out. Again, that is a topic for you to discuss amongst yourselves. It's clear, because of the severity of his aggressive outbursts, that psychopharmacologic management is going to be necessary. But should we regard him as a young man with bipolar disorder? Should we diagnose him as having intermittent explosive disorder? These debates have now gone to the very highest levels of the American Psychological Association. And indeed, they have suggested creating a diagnosis called temper dysregulation disorder, which would specifically fit the kinds of symptoms that Josh is expressing. The creation of such a diagnosis as an alternative to bipolar in this situation doesn't make it any easier for us to choose a treatment. Is it appropriate to expose Josh to the long-term side effects of mood-stabilizing medication in the absence of clear-cut mania? I leave that for your discussion. I hope this series has generated some questions in your mind that you will mull over, particularly as you enter the clinic and deal with cases very much like these. Thank you.